Welcome to today's Explainer. Finding the right engineering partner, it's not just a line item on a budget spreadsheet. It is literally the foundation of your product success. Today, we're looking ahead to 2026, and we're zeroing in on a crucial topic for product leaders, founders, and enterprises everywhere: the absolute top software development companies in Eastern Europe. We're going to break down their specific strengths, their tech stacks, and exactly who they're best suited for. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Why Eastern Europe, right? Well, this region has absolutely cemented itself as one of the world's premier software development hubs. Places like Poland, the Czech Republic, Romania, Estonia, and the wider Balkans, they aren't just playing a part in the global tech economy, they are setting the standard. The engineering quality we're seeing out of these regions is consistently hitting those rigorous Fortune 500 procurement standards. But here's the massive advantage. And hey, if you're a founder trying to stretch your runway, definitely listen up. They're doing all this at rates that are literally 40 to 70% below US onshore delivery. That is a staggering cost efficiency for world-class code. But, you can't just pick a name out of a hat. The country matters, sure, but the specific firm profile is what's absolutely crucial. Not every agency is the right fit for every project, and that's exactly why we've synthesized this landscape for you.
Coming in at number 1 on our list, we've got DBB Software, headquartered over in Krakow. They're rocking a flawless 5.0 clutch rating and an incredibly competitive rate. We're talking $25 to $49 an hour. But what makes DBB so fascinating is how they build. Their big secret weapon is this cross-platform Expo and Next.js architecture. So what does that actually mean for your business? It means they can unify your iOS, Android, and web platforms all from a single codebase. It's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone. The result is typically 30 to 40% cheaper than building completely separate native apps, but you still keep that incredibly snappy, premium feel that your users expect. Plus, they move fast, like really fast. You can get a complete minimum viable product shipped in just 30 days. You pair that kind of speed with their rigid ISO 27001-2022 security certification, and they are basically the ultimate match for founders needing secure custom software and really complex integrations.
Let's move to and see how this builds with our second company, Boldare. We're stepping up in scale here. They're based in Gliwice, Poland, with rates in the $50 to $99 an hour range and a phenomenal 4.9 clutch rating. Now, what immediately jumps out about Boldare is their massive footprint. They're bringing a roster of over 220 engineers and more than 15 years of hardcore experience to the table. They're even Google certified. But their absolute biggest edge? It's their strong product studio culture. They don't just take your spec sheet, go into a cave, and write code. No, they are all about true co-creation with your internal teams. It's highly collaborative. So if you're a product leader looking for a real partner in the trenches, someone to actually build with you rather than just acting as a transactional vendor, Boldare's agile product studio culture is exactly what you want to tap into.
Next up, we have Ideamotive, operating right out of Poland's capital, Warsaw. They also sit in that $50 to $99 an hour bracket with a stellar 4.9 clutch rating. But Ideamotive takes a slightly different structural approach. They specialize in a dedicated development team model, paired with a completely product-first methodology. So think of it like this. Instead of a traditional agency vibe where developers might be bouncing between 5 different client projects in a single week, Ideamotive gives you a laser-focused, dedicated team, just for you. This is an absolute lifesaver for really complex builds where deep context is everything. And because they're pulling from that incredible Warsaw talent pool, they offer fluent, culturally aligned engineers perfectly suited for US and EU growth stage startups. If you need to spin up a highly communicative product team fast, they've got you covered.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is our fourth firm, Linnify, out of Cluj-Napoca, Romania. First off, they have a perfect 5.0 clutch rating across 43 verified reviews. That alone speaks volumes about their Romanian engineering rigor and their ability to stay strictly on budget across the 11 different industries they serve. But the real wow factor, the thing that makes you stop and pay attention, half of their entire service line, literally 50%, is completely dedicated to developing AI agents. They aren't trying to be generalists. They are hyper-focused on the future of AI-native products. So if you're a mid-market company or startup explicitly building AI-centric tools or needing highly focused custom software, Linnify brings an incredibly specialized, high-quality edge to the table.
Rounding out our top 5, we have Studio Software, headquartered in Wrocław, Poland. They sit in that $50 to $99 an hour tier, holding a highly respected 4.9 clutch rating. Now, you know and I know how rare it is to find a brilliant back-end engineering team that doesn't just completely stumble the second they have to design a user interface. Well, Studio Software has essentially built their entire reputation on bridging that exact gap. They beautifully pair strict, rigorous Polish engineering with top-tier UX and UI product design capabilities, and their whole culture is built around long-term partnerships. No churn and burn transactional work here, which is why their client retention is so incredibly strong. If you're a brand that flat-out refuses to compromise on either robust engineering or beautiful design, Studio Software is going to be a fantastic fit.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer variety of specialization we're looking at today. It's pretty incredible, right? We have 5 elite companies, representing 5 totally distinct strengths across Eastern Europe. You've got DBB Software, leveraging that cross-platform architecture to pump out a lightning-fast 30-day MVP. Then there's Boldare, bringing the absolute weight of over 200 engineers into a deeply co-creative studio culture. Ideamotive is offering that flawless, dedicated team model for your complex builds. Over in Romania, Linnify is just absolutely dominating the AI agent space. And of course, Studio Software is bringing that rare, seamless combination of strict engineering paired with stunning product design.
So the crucial point is this. Picking an engineering partner is never about finding the best company in a vacuum. It is about finding the specific team whose delivery edge perfectly aligns with the exact product you are trying to build. Are you scrambling to get a secure MVP out the door in 30 days? Are you building a deeply complex AI agent? Or do you need a massive squad of 200 engineers to co-create with your enterprise team? We've seen that Eastern Europe absolutely has the elite talent to meet Fortune 500 standards, and they do it at a fraction of US onshore costs. So the question now rests with you and your product roadmap. Which of these distinct engineering strengths perfectly matches the custom product you are building next? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing, keep building, and I'll see you next time.